Hello and welcome to my beautiful new camera. I was having some trouble editing some of the videos there last week and decided, fuck it, I'm gonna get a brand new camera for myself. Today I'd like to talk about the power of vulnerability. And this is for a specific reason. Over the weekend, I ended up feeling quite insecure in a relationship dynamic. And going through that whole process, being a person who's connected, okay? I'm a person who's generally connected. In general, I feel a sense of openness and oneness within myself. I feel the individuation of being a strong, confident, self-sufficient person. But over the weekend, I had this issue come up. It was an insecurity. And going through that process is never fun. However, here's two really important things through this process that I found quite healing and helpful. First of all, I was feeling insecure in one of the most loving relationships I've ever been in. Very supportive, unconditional, a lot of awareness of each other and ourselves, like a lot of healthy interactions. So going through this insecurity, and I felt insecure, like I was like saying things that weren't true, like I was really feeling that pain in my heart. But to be supported in this relationship and also with the other people that are involved was really, really healing and really helpful. When I lived in Australia, I lived in a community of people at a place called the Rhythm Hut. And I found that type of community love where, it's not like you fuck up all the time and people just accept you and it's like, oh yeah, we accept him as an asshole or whatever. If you're genuinely doing work on yourself, and you love yourself and you're trying your best, then also having a community to back that up, to be there for you and with you through these things, to mutually support each other as we heal and as we grow, is a beautiful thing, super beautiful thing. Part about this vulnerability and how it was actually beneficial to go through this kind of painful experience is that it's an analogy I like to use. Imagine we are all our own sword. So this is your body, it's your mind, it's your persona, it's your experience. We're swords. Through the course of time, we end up getting battle wounds. We end up like getting nicks on the sword. There's these little pieces of steel that kind of fall off. In order to reshape that sword and to make it strong again, we need to put it into the fire. We need to put it back into the molten fire in order to let it melt. Then we can reshape it and we can bring it back into form. Well, that is true also of a human being and of the experience of vulnerability. We're going into the fire, the pain, the vulnerability, the sticky point where you are not totally solid in yourself. I'm not totally solid in myself in that experience. But then to allow oneself to melt in that way and to go through that softening of all of the edges, to feel as vulnerable as can be, and then to come out of that experience and rebuild oneself and do it with it. It's like the phoenix rising, right? It's like every archetypical thing that's ever happened, really, as far as a rebirth or a recalibration, or you got to go in the poison is the cure for the poison. Now we hear all these quotes, but the experience of allowing oneself to be melted into oneself and really just like in that painful spot, only to come out on top and more whole than before and more loved than before and more loved in oneself than before, is a very powerful practice. So I would encourage that the power of vulnerability is just to be honest with oneself. You don't have to go and try to be vulnerable. It's life. Situations will arise. But to be vulnerable in those situations with ourselves and with the people we love the most, I feel like the opportunity for real growth and true self-love comes from those spaces. Thank you for watching.